One of the common problems I see when I teach beginners is the bow hold. The bow hold tends to be one of the most challenging things to get well from the very beginning. And in today's video, I want to share with you a quick tip as to how you can train your hand so that way you get a lot more control, you get a lot more sound production, and even more. Stick around to the end of the video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eric. I'm a violinist. I do a lot of violin tutorials, violin product reviews, and more. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that way you get notified for when new videos come out. It helps me out as a content creator to provide more videos for you. Quite often I see bow holds that look something like this. And not that this is a bad bow hold, however, I recommend having all the fingers bent for a few reasons. Reason number one is that when you have the fingers bent right over here, you have a little bit more flexibility in your bow hold and in your sound. And this also could be practiced with colle, although I have another video about colle, which is the seed of all bow holds. And if you want to know that video, if you want to check that out, I'm going to leave a card right up here. Reason number two is that you have a lot more control. You know, I'm going to actually experience a lot of tension here if I try to push down or press down or use all my weight onto the string if I use this kind of bow hold. And I'm actually going to have more success if I'm able to pull the string as opposed to pressing it down. Now you might be wondering, well, how do I go from here to here? This is the goal, but I'm always stuck doing something like this. Well, first and foremost, you want to make sure that your wrist is above your forearm. That is really important because once you do this, once you collapse the wrist, you are likely to even roll your thumb the other way, and you're actually going to have the wood facing your eyes and facing your face as opposed to the other way. You're actually going to get a better sound when you tilt the bow slightly away from your face. And if that doesn't work, well, we have a rubber band right over here. And if you have a rubber band lying around and you have your violin bow, you could follow along. You can pause this video so that way you can get your violin bow. You could also get your rubber band so that way we can really get into the seed of how to get that nice curvy hand. So we have our bow right over here, if it can focus. Yep, there you go. And we just have a plain rubber band. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this rubber band over here. Once it focuses, there you go. And I'm going to just twist it around so that way it's a nice snug fit onto the bow. And it's going to look something like this. What tends to happen with our bows, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get these two middle fingers, the second finger and the third finger, the middle finger and the ring finger, staying on the bow. Now, this is not to press or squeeze. We're just trying to go from here to there. Well, number one, we want to make sure this thumb is bent because what will happen, we call this banana thumb. I'll also leave another video right over here to check out the banana thumb and why it has its disadvantages. But just, very quickly is that it'll cause a lot of tension in the wrist, and that's what we don't want. So we want a nice bendy thumb, and these two fingers are going to be over what we call the eye, this little circle of the bow, the eye. So because of my hands, I tend to leave my ring finger slightly over this circle, over the eye. And this works for me, but it may be different for you because you have a different shaped hand. So I would recommend experimenting in front of a mirror, maybe talking to your teacher or your professor to help you get the best bow hold possible. So now that we have this rubber band set, what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this ring finger underneath the rubber band so that way it'll reduce our it'll just keep our ring finger accountable. Having a little bit of that resistance will help your ring finger stay put. Now, if your second and first finger tend to go rogue, then you can put the first and second, well, not the first and second finger, the second and third finger over the bow this way, and this will help you resist the urge of going out. Now, I just recommend doing it on the ring finger. I feel like that is plenty. These two, subconsciously communicate with each other. So if the ring finger is, not the word stuck, but sitting tight right over here, then the second finger will also follow the third finger, the ring finger's suit right over here. Now, we don't want this index finger to be sticking out, but we want to have a nice little hugging motion on this thumb leather. Now, for a lot of beginners, the trouble is that this thumb leather goes all the way. There isn't like a silver lining, and this doesn't have like this tiny little thumb leather, so it's very difficult for students to get that grip. So I would recommend getting a violin bow that has something like this, getting like a thumb leather to understand that point of contact with the index finger. Now I'm just going to put my ring finger back over here. My index finger is set. My thumb is not banana thumb. I don't want to stick that thumb out, because look what happens when I stick my thumb out. My fingers also go straight. So the thumb has a big role in this bow hold as well. And of course, that pinky, we don't want to press on the pinky. We just want to have it sit tight and just really nice and relaxed. The wrist is above the forearm, and a slight tilt forward with the bow, and you're going to get a nicer sound and a better bow grip. And that's all you need from a violinist perspective. That is one quick tip that you can try out at home. And leave your comments down below. Did it work? Did it not? Do you want another video explaining the difference between this kind of bow hold and this kind of bow hold? I want to get your take on it. Let's have a conversation down below. What's great about this is that this is very low cost. You can go to the dollar store and get a bunch of rubber bands. There are a lot of different products out there that help with bow grips, but this is honestly the very cheapest option if you are really trying to stay low budget and learning how to play the violin, really learning how to hold the violin bow, and also getting a good sound. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so that way you get notified for when new videos come out. And leave a comment down below, as I said before, did this little rubber band trick work? I want to know from you. And as a thank you for watching this video, I want to give you a free gift to my musician's practice guide. This is for any violinist who wants to take their violin practice to the next level. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is just click on the link down below for you to get a copy. This ebook's about a 10-minute read. It's very easy. I try to make it personal so that way you, the audience, understand what are some of the common practice problems that we face in the practice room and some of the things that prevent us from practicing. As a matter of fact, a lot of the issues that we have is before we even enter the practice room. So I really encourage you to get that practice guide down below. I'll leave a link. Also, if you want to check out some other violin videos on the channel, I'm going to leave some playlists and some videos right over here for you to check out. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.